Hello, what's up guys? My name is BluehunterZombi and today we're going to be talking about the cosmetic contest. Now I have heard back from the community and they have spoken, and today we're going to be talking about in detail about everything that I know about the contest horses. But before we start into today's video, I would like to thank everybody who participated in the giveaway that I've hosted. Thank you to the Discord staff making it possible. Congratulations to the 10 giveaway winners, and a special recognition to one of the winners, as you may have noticed, Late Kate, a content creator that also creates horse life contents. I honestly was surprised about that one. Again, congratulations to everyone that have won. Hopefully I can host more giveaways such as contest horses, glow gargs, or in-game currency. So in today's video, I will be covering the 5 main topics, which are what you need before starting, what are the contest horses and the rewards, where to obtain them, how to breed contest horses, and how to sell/trade contest horses to make a profit. So before starting out, what you're going to need is a minimum of 10 stable slots, basically spaces that you're going to be storing all your contest horses. Next up, what you're going to need is food, and now there are several ways that you can obtain these food. My personal favorite is buying basic feed, but it's the most costly, but it does save the most time. You can also farm food around the map. There are 2 major spots that I use to farm, which are the apple barrels around the spawn area, or the blueberry bushes that are high up in the mountains where the caprines are located at. Another way of getting food is defeating the spirit boss. Now the boss gives you lots of food and feed. That's if you have a high tier and high percentage put in. It's a very good way of getting lots of high quality food and feed, but the downside to this is that it's only available at the beginning of every hour, unfortunately. Lastly is the market realm. Sometimes people are selling food that they harvest themselves, but finding for the right prices is hard. Normally it's hard to dictate which is the right prices for what, but I can explain more in a different video. Trade spots are optional, meaning that you don't need them, but it helps you in the long run. For me personally, I go through like 50 trade pots per week. Next up, what are contest horses? Basically are horses that are bred to be identical to the example horse shown next to the cosmetic contest stand. You are trying to match every trait and color into one horse. Now the rewards are self-explanatory, but people are still confused. To explain this, there are 2 things to understand: percentage and tier. Now each tier have different percentages. But you may have wondered why our higher percentage costs more in the market realm when buying, but it is the same tier. An example would be 85% costs more than a 75%, even though the reward is the same. Simple answer is breeders. Sellers sell higher percentage for breeders to have a better chance of breeding a higher percentage. Now if you just want the tier reward, I would suggest you only buy the minimum requirement for that tier. Up next is how to obtain contest horses. Now there are 2 ways to obtain traits and colors for the contest horses, but both options require breeding in order to get the highest percentage possible. The first way is to catch random horses in the wild, particularly in the front of the spawn area. This is a more randomized way of obtaining traits and colors that are needed. Second way is to wait later in the week and buy contest horses from sellers. In the beginning, these horses will have minimal colors and traits and sometimes be overpriced. For the best optimal breeding and purchasing is during the middle of the week. Or if you're just buying and not breeding, I would suggest the last 2 days before the contest ends. That is when it's the cheapest. Fair note though, the prices will fluctuate depending on the seller and if the market is flooded with contest horses. How to breed contest horses. Honestly, this is what you guys have been waiting for. All my secrets will be spilled, so let's get to it. First of all, colors is much harder to obtain and transfer, but it is easier when you have all the correct traits initially. The main traits you want to start off with is getting the size and eye colors, because if you breed 2 horses with those traits, they will 100% be passed on. Secondly, I would try to obtain all these traits or have the correct traits with no wrong traits. To explain this, look at the example horse to make sure that both parents have only those specific traits. Doesn't matter if you're missing any of them. You can breed on a missing trait easier when you have no wrong traits. breeding with the wrong trait have a chance to be passed on, and it will mess up the breeding line even further. This is very important. Once you have all the traits down, color is either super easy or insanely hard to obtain. There are natural colors that you can find in the wild, but more exotic colors it requires from different species. And not to mention that specific colors needs to be in their designated spot. To solve this problem, you can look up the wiki or an official Google Doc in the official HorseLife Discord server to find colors that mix together to get a specific color out of it. Another great way is to find color that you need is in the market realm. Ask people if they have or if they can breed it. Majority of the time colors are already bred from previous contests. If not, sometime no one will know or have it, and you will have to figure out how to get the color instead. Now using trait pot is a good way to transfer the specific traits with the potted horse. To my extensive knowledge and asking developers, the trait pot has a 25% chance of transferring specific traits from that horse. But that doesn't mean all traits will be transferred. So meaning you should only use it on horses that have specific traits that needs to be transferred. After everything basically is left to RNG, aka luck. Basically you just hope all the traits and colors are transferred into one horse once bred. How I increase the chance of basically trying to have both breeding partners to have the same colors and traits, but one horse needs to have the missing traits or colors from the other horse. Selling contest horses. Once you are ready to sell contest horses, there are many key factors to keep in mind. The value will be based on the percentages. When selling contest horses, there are no set value unless you are the first one to sell or have the highest percentages. So if this applies to you, you can choose what price you want to sell it at. Keep in mind, prices will fluctuate once other sellers are selling at the same percentage and if they are selling at a lower price. Therefore, you have to sell at the same price, lower it, or start selling higher percentages. Another key factor is if the market is flooded. This happens when a bunch of percentages are sold, which in return there are less buyers later on, and the value will drop once higher percentages are put on the market. To keep track of the value and prices, look at the stalls that the contest horses are being sold, or if you really want to be accurate, there is a trading channel on the official HorseLife Discord server. That is where the most traffic for buyers to buy contest horses. Thank you everybody for making it to the end of the video. I hope you guys do enjoy it and have learned anything about breeding and making CC horses. Other than that, please leave a like and subscribe if you're not, and leave a comment down in the description below for the next video you guys want to see. Thank you guys. See you guys next time. Peace.